have got a really lovely guest now, don't we?
We do.
Who
So
you know
I
all
feel very privileged to introduce our next guest because it is somebody who's very close to my heart. We are going to be speaking with Kerry Thompson, who is a disability blogger. She's an award winner and just an all-round legend, I'm going to say. Kerry, thank you for joining us today.
Hello, thanks for having me. You
Amazing to
look
meet you.
lovely in the garden, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, apologies in advance because if you hear me squeal at some point, there is a bee that is going round and I'm being a little girl about it.
He's a big boy, though. It is a big boy bee. Like,
Yeah.
he's twice the size of a normal bumblebee.
He's
Which is
huge.
like a queen bee. It's crazy. Anyway, nice to meet you.
Hello,
on
lovely
in.
to meet you too.
So yeah, it feels like this has been a long time coming. I've wanted to get you on the show for a while and just talk about all the amazing work and everything that you do on your platform. Let's start off just to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and tell us who you are, where you're from, and just give us a little summary.
So a little summary about me. So I'm Kerry Thompson. I live in sunny Milton Keynes, the land of the concrete cows and roundabouts, as I like to say. I'm a disability blogger. I'm an activist. I also work for Changing Places UK. I live with my husband.
Big Dave. Shout out to Big
Big
Dave.
Dave. Fun enough, but Big Dave actually isn't his name because his name is actually Nicky. So we seem to have given him this nickname that has stuck, which is great because he loves it.
He does.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? But yeah, it's that's me in a nutshell. I pretty much give me a good campaign, I will write about it. I will shout about it. My blog is about my life, living with muscular dystrophy. I try and keep it light and breezy, but it's very hard to do that sometimes when life can give you a lot of challenges.
Absolutely. And where do you find the time to do everything you do? Because I know you well. Like, I should just explain this, a little disclaimer for people at home watching. I know Kerry through the blogging world and the online community, but we've never actually met in person.
Okay.
But I class her as one of my greatest friends. Like, she is absolutely brilliant. But I know how busy you are. So how do you manage to do everything that you do?
There is never enough time in the day. I feel like I'm constantly sometimes chasing myself, and I love to procrastinate as well. So I can sit there for a whole day and go, I really need to do all of this work, but then I don't do it. But then the following day, I will have double the amount of work to do. So I don't know. I have a real problem with saying no as well. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that. It's always, yes, absolutely, I will do it. I will do it all for you.
So, like, for me, I don't know much about muscular dystrophy, isn't it? Could you explain a little bit about how that affects you?
So for me, mine is a rare form of muscular dystrophy. So it's FHL1 gene mutation. So, call me a superhero. It basically affects my skeletal muscles. So my arms are very weak. My legs, I can't walk anymore. It affects my lungs and my heart. So basically what it does is it's your muscles are still there, but they're very weak. And it's just one gene that doesn't actually hit your muscles to be able to feed the muscles to be able to do what they actually need to do.
I know that Kerry calls her wheelchair a go-kart, which I just love. I think it's the best description you could have for a chair. And Kerry, I want to ask you a bit about your blog and what inspired you to start a blog. Like, when did you start it originally? And like, can you remember like the first post you did? Like, what led you to that moment?
I'd been thinking about doing a blog for a while, and I thought that I'm not going to be any good at it. Do I really need to do it? Is it something I want to do? I think I was very scared to begin with, and Google was my best friend. I googled everything about how to start a blog, and it was around 7 years ago that I started. So I wrote my first post, and I think I sat on it for about 3 or 4 days, thinking, do I post it? No one's going to read it.
Oh.
Everyone's going to hate it. And it was kind of really for me to start, it was kind of really for me to start writing about my feelings of living with muscular dystrophy. It was a bit about kind of a free therapy session for me. So instead of going and speaking to other people, it was me writing everything down on a blog and just posting it out there for either the world to see or for the world, not to see. But it very much changed quite quickly. Who knew that I was, people would be interested in what I wrote about, which shocks me even to today when I get messages saying, oh my God, I feel the same. It's like, do you really? Wow. Aww. Thanks.
Oh, that's so nice, because it is that feedback that really sort of must inspire you to sort of keep going. And I know you say, you were worried, are people going to read this, or why am I doing this? But I mean, look at you now. I mean, you've won multiple awards from your blog and your campaign work in general. Talk to us about your most recent achievements. So I believe you were at the Milton Keynes Inspiration Awards recently.
Yes, so Saturday night I got all glammed up. Everyone loves to get glammed up. And I was nominated for Inspirational Woman for my area of Milton Keynes. So I went along to the Jury's Inn. It was a lovely get-together. There was a few people that I knew. A couple of my friends were up as well. It was a nice sit-down dinner, but I didn't think I was going to win. I'll be completely honest. I thought one of my friends that I know in Milton Keynes was going to win. She does amazing work within the charity community. And I honestly thought she would win it hands down. So when my name was called, I was a bit, okay. Did they just say my name?
Did I hear that right?
Did I? Yeah. Is that me? Okay. My husband, obviously, a couple of rums in, was screaming at the top of his lungs, that's my wife! Bless him. So I went round, got my award. I didn't cry, Ross. You'd be very proud of me. There was a tear, but I managed to hold it together.
Amazing.
Which is very unlike me. And then, I got my award. I went and sat back round at my table, thinking that was it. And my husband went off to go outside. My mother-in-law went off. My father-in-law went off. My brother-in-law, my sister, everyone left. There was just the 4 people that still sat on our table that had joined our table. And my name was called again for outstanding achievement. And I was like, what? What? What's going on? What is going on? And then I went round, and then one of the people on our table, I mean, they were amazing. They really were amazing. They kind of jumped up and down and cheered and went and got everybody that belonged to me and was like, she's won another award. She's won another award. And they were all like, what? And all you hear is my husband come bounding through the doors going, that's my wife. Yes, baby. So, I mean, it was lovely. And then I got a standing ovation. I was like, yep, can't do that. I will start to blubber. I need to turn around quick, sharpish and go. So, yeah, it's always nice to have that recognition. I never expect it. And I'm always very humbled and overwhelmed when I'm nominated for things. Definitely, because it clearly means that I'm doing something that people are recognising, and it's lovely to have that feeling. But to win is just a huge achievement, with so many incredible people that are always nominated and you're always up against. I always think, oh, they're so good, I'm never going to win. No,
but that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, because you are deserving of those awards, absolutely. And even just being nominated is just nice in itself. But to take home the trophy, you must have a pretty big cabinet at home now.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to start soon, if I'm honest. I might put a shelf in the bathroom, because isn't it one of those things that if you win awards, you put them in the bathroom or the downstairs toilet? I mean, I live in a bungalow, so I don't actually have a downstairs toilet. But yeah,
Maya's just like, no.
I've never heard of doing it. I've never heard of putting awards in the toilet. I mean, is it
well,
something
a lot
to
of
look
the big
at?
A celebrities.
Because you're sitting there a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least someone's looking at your awards.
That's very true.
That is true. That's really incredible. And I loved how your husband was so excited and supportive of you, because that says it all in itself, doesn't it? And how beautiful that is. Really exciting. So there's one thing that's particularly catching my eye at the moment, and it's Toilet Queen. Toilet Queen, working on Changing Places campaign with Tesco. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that's quite a title, to be a toilet queen.
Well, I was named the Toilet Queen by our very own Ross. He named me the Toilet Queen.
I did. It's kind of stuck, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It kind of, and everybody now knows me as the Toilet Queen, which I love. I remember somebody saying, "Do you really like that?" And I'm like, absolutely love it. If I could get a tattoo with hashtag the Toilet Queen, I totally would.
What have you done, Ross?
I want it on my grave when I die. Hashtag the Toilet Queen.
Amazing. But tell us, what is a Changing Places toilet for those who don't know? If you can break it down in simple terms.
Yeah. So a Changing Places toilet is a different style of accessible toilet. So you have your bog standard accessible toilet with a baby changing table, toilet shoved in the corner, pull cord, grab rails, or very little of. You then have a Changing Places toilet, which is no more or it's no less than 12 square foot. That's what we like it to be anyway, 12 square foot. You have a toilet central to the wall. So it needs to be a peninsular toilet, because obviously a peninsular toilet is what comes off of the wall. And then you have a ceiling track hoist. You have an adult size changing bench, which is height adjustable. You have a height adjustable sink. But you've got the space within that Changing Places for a safe manoeuvement, because not everybody, if I go to the toilet, I can't transfer myself. So I need help. So if I'm using a hoist, it's generally going to be two people that are with me. A lot of people have two carers. Some have one, some don't have any. But a Changing Places toilet gives you that safe environment to be able to use it and not have to change your child or your teenager or your adult child on a dirty toilet floor. And that is what's happening. It's sad, and it's unhygienic. It shouldn't be happening in our day. It shouldn't be happening where we're having to hold ourselves or not go out just because of a toilet. And unfortunately, that is the sad truth for a lot of us, is that my life when I go out is governed by a toilet.
Yeah.
And you've got powerful.
It is, isn't it?
Like, I mean, especially considering, you never hear about that. And it's really great that you're using your platform to bring awareness to that, because you don't really think about it, I suppose, like every day. Because I mean, I used to work at Tesco, and we had quite a few people with disabilities come through and go into the disabled toilets, and quite a few who looked after their children or adult children, as you said. And now I'm just thinking about how some of them may have had to help change whoever they're caring for on the floor, which is crazy, isn't it?
What Tesco's did was incredible. I went in, I spoke to a room full of directors and managers, and they ran with my story like it was their own. And that was incredible to watch and incredible to see, that my very first task or campaign for Changing Places was with Tesco's. And, you know, they've built over 100 changing places toilets. I'm pretty sure we're over 130 now, which when I first started 3 years ago, there was only 35 that were going to be built.
Wow.
And they've literally just kept going and going. And they are now, you know, the top supermarket to have a changing places facility. And that's, you know, that in itself is a huge achievement. A huge achievement. So I'm hugely proud of the work that they did and what I did. And, you know, the Changing Places UK team as well. They, you know, they were very much a part of it. And yeah, it's amazing to kind of, whenever I get a new email to say that another one's been built and it's got Tesco's name to it, there's a sense of pride. And yeah, it just means that I know that it's changing so many people's lives for the better.
What do they say? Every little helps. You know,
every little helps.
It
helps indeed.
Yeah.
We love that. And the thing I love the most about this story is that obviously you started this awareness and campaigning just off your own back, because it's something that affects your personal life and something that you're passionate about, obviously years ago and things like that. But this has now led to you having paid employment where you work for muscular dystrophy within the Changing Places campaign now. So it's almost like you've come sort of full circle of, you started a campaign sort of voluntarily for your own sort of benefit and for awareness of others, but this has led you to a employment now. So tell us about that.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's kind of coming. I jumped into campaigning by sheer mistake, which then led me to, you know, working with Tesco's, to then, you know, finding out about Changing Places toilets, and then to last year finding, you know, being asked if I, you know, wanted to apply for a job, and I was like, oh, I've not worked in 20 odd years. I don't know if I'd be any good at it anymore. How do you even do employment anymore? And so it was the job. It was like a job made for me. My husband loves to say that I talk a lot about toilets anyway. So now I just talk even more about toilets. And I get paid to do it, which is great. You know, it's great to be back in employment. It's great to have that structure of, I forgot what it was like to work. I forgot what it was like to really make a difference. Well, not to make a difference, because I think I do make a difference. I like to think I make a difference anyway. But to now work for a charity that is very close to my heart, and that, you know, I take very dearly, because they've helped me over the years a lot. You know, now to be part of that family is incredible, but to do a job that I love as well is even better.
Yeah, you've got to enjoy what you do, and I think that's why people follow you, and that's why people enjoy what you post, because you're passionate about what you do. And you know, you could be one week you could be sharing a post about general access and disability, the next week you can be talking about mental health, or you can be talking about sort of personal women's things, that which I'm not going to mention because I've seen some of your posts. Maya's face now is like,
let's hear about that. Hang on a minute.
But like, you cover such a variety of subjects that are just relevant to so many people, and I think that's why people appreciate what you do.
Thank you. I mean, I'm a true believer in your story is the most powerful tool that you have. So talking about, you know, cervical smears, and talking about, you know, not having access to a toilet, or not having access to your GP, or, you know, the silly things of, you know, trying out a new wheelchair, to getting clothing, to, you know, being aware of your mental health is just, I think it's hugely important.
It must be really, just thinking about that, just everyday things. Do you find that it gets quite draining then? Do you have any sort of coping mechanisms for how you deal with it? Because I can't imagine, it's just everything you have to think about so much, don't you? You have to plan everything, you have to know where everything is. How do you cope with that?
I'm a list girl. I like pretty much. I have a list upon list. I have a list about a list. To be fair, I like to listen to myself. I try. Well, I try and listen to myself. Sometimes I push myself a little bit too hard. But it's important to listen to your body as well. So when you need to take that break, to take that break. But I don't know. I like to do everything.
Yes.
I find it very hard to stop. I must admit. My husband just kind of looks at me sometimes and says, "Seriously?" And then my PA now gets my diary out, and every time I say yes, I can do it, she kind of glares at me and says, "Really? Where would you like me to stick that in the diary?" And I'm like, "It's okay. We'll fit it in round about there. It's fine."
Oh, and just to sort of end on a positive note as well, it is Disability Pride Month this month,
Yay!
which again comes with the territory of what we do for work and blogging and awareness. What if you could give a message to anybody out there who, because there is still a lot of stigmas and stereotypes regards to people with disabilities, what would you say to somebody who maybe has a view of disabilities in general? If you could give a message for Disability Pride and what it means to you.
Don't look at my chair. See me as a person. You know, my chair is just my independence. It's just because I can't use my legs. But see the person that's sat in it, because I am, you know, hashtag the toilet queen. I'm very sarcastic. I'm very bubbly. I'm very funny. You know, just see the person. And if you're disabled and you're struggling, reach out to the disability world, because we're all very connected in some form. And I think it's great when one of us is struggling, we all kind of come together, whether they know you, whether they don't know you. We're a huge community of people that don't know each other, but we're a huge community of people that support each other. And I think that's a great thing to have.
Yeah, no, that's a lovely, powerful message there to sort of end on. And we want to, anybody watching who has enjoyed obviously hearing Kerry's story today and is interested in sort of disability awareness or anything like that, we sort of urge you, please, you've got to look her up and have a look on her website. Just visit kerry-thompson.com. And you're on all the socials as well, Kerry. Go on, plug away. what you on?
So you'll find me on Facebook, you'll find me on Twitter, you will find me on Instagram as well. Haven't quite hit the world of TikTok yet. TikTok scares me. But yeah, you'll find me on my website, and you'll find me on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
Amazing. So yes, please do go follow Kerry, show us some love. A little fun fact about Kerry as well, which I'm also a little bit embarrassed to admit myself. Kerry loves her reality TV, just like I do. We are TV super fans, and we have a Love Island group chat.
No, you do
which is
not.
Embarrassing as hell.
Yes, we do. But to the point of where I sent Ross a voice note last night saying, "I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry." And I totally did cry.
I may have shed a tear as well, I'm not going to lie.
You're all crying over this?
We're an emotional bunch.
That's okay though.
Amazing. But Kerry, thank you so much for joining us today. It's amazing to have you on the show, and to hear everything that you're doing. You're amazing, and just keep up the great work.
Yeah, amazing to meet you, Kerry.
Thank you.
Speak to you
lovely
soon.
to meet you, and thanks for having me. Thanks.
Anytime.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that.
That was really good. That was powerful stuff. Really inspiring. She's a really empowering woman.
She is.
It's great.
Yeah,
really
her
great.
platform is great, and she's using it for really positive things. And I'm proud to call her a friend. She's a great girl.